Alright gang, so the best I can figure is I have to work off these two bolts back here that hold the tail shaft to the transmission housing. And there's a bolt here in the bell housing. And I could probably use that one and this one, or I could use the top top bolts on the transmission mounts. Now, when I had the body on and I drilled the hole, I did scribe a mark on the tranny of where the hole fell. So I know that this whole unit will have to sit right about here. So that does fall about where everything, excuse me, where everything fell on Ed Roth's car, the Beatnik Bandit he built. So I'm guessing I'm going to make a tab come off of here, and this needs to be as close to the tranny as it can be because I can go up a little bit if I need, and this will be about as low as it will be able to go. And I'll put this plate one on top of whatever plate I make here. So I'm figuring it'll be, maybe 3/16 of an inch off the top of that transmission. So I'll make a bracket to come off of here, and then I will make a nice flat piece of plate to go across, and maybe I'll have little pieces of round stock and a longer bolt here, and I can weld off of that. So I got to figure this all out. So I guess what I need to do now is break out some cardboard templates and start figuring this crap out. come up with. So this is the same width as this, obviously, and I got it at so many inches so it'll fall just shy up front here. And I've got my big spacers here. You didn't notice them on the top motor mounts. They're 1.5 inches long, and it's about, I think it's 7/8 OD round stock. I just had it laying around, so it was a little piece, so I cut it in half and it worked fine. I'm going to bolt this up, and then I got to figure out, I got to make some strap steel, I think, or something come across around here, and that's how that'll affix the front. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Let's just get this bolted up, and then we're going to, like I say, we're winging it, and we're going to go ahead and figure that front out. Okay, gang, this is what I've come up with. I've got this all set up. It's a thinner piece of steel, but this is 1 inch wide by 3/8 thick. Is it a bit too much? Yes. Is it over-engineered? Abso-freaking-lutely. Is it what I had laying around? You betcha. So that's what we're going to use. It's probably what Ed would have done. So I'm just going to, I got one piece up here, it's centered, and I got these side pieces made, and I'm just going to, oh, this goes this way. Like that. I'm going to get it together like this and just kind of haphazardly let it sit like that, and it'll clear everything else, and I'm just going to weld it up. I had to go to the hardware store to source a couple of these 7/16 bolts in here that were 1.5 inches longer, because I went through my magic bucket and I didn't have any, so I had to go out and spend what was it, a buck and a half a piece. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the welder, and I'll zoom in, I'll show you this stuff as I weld it, and let's get going. Alright, it sits on there just fine, and solid as a rock. And that should be perfect for setting this on top of it. So now, like I said, I know that it's got to be right about there for all that to work and everything. And, you know, mounting it to this plate, I may have to shim it up or down or what have you, and that'll just come later on. So, hey, you know, I got to get the body back on, and that's going to be a hassle. I'll have to wait to get some help. And then I can position this. I'll be able to reach my hand in here and maybe clamp this thing in place so it doesn't move. And then I'll know that every time I put the body on and off, it'll you know, fall perfectly and everything will work the way it has to. And if I have this not in the body, this whole ensemble here, and it's on the transmission like this, then I can run these brake lines, and I can operate this and bleed all the lines and get the brakes to work while the body's off the car. It'll make life a lot easier for me. It's not exactly how Ed did it. Like I had said, he mounted his to a piece of plywood on the underside of the body. I think that looks pretty good. I'll dress off the welds and stuff later. I'm going to let this cool off, and I got to take it off and finish the welds. So that'll be the next step, I guess. And we'll come on back, and we'll keep trotting along and figure it out.